everybody. This is Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and it is time for Moment of Presence. Let's do some deep breathing to start today while we're waiting for more people to join. So, we're going to dive into it. As we take a big deep breath in, we are going to pause on the top, and then we're going to slowly exhale. And you know what I want you to do? I want you to try to do it as quietly as possible and as slow as possible. So, big deep breath in. Hold it. Nice slow exhale. Big deep breath in. Nice slow exhale. One more time. Big deep breath in. And slow exhale. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Michelle Barone, Moksha Grace Coaching, and I coach people on emotional intelligence, individuals that their emotions are actually in more control of their life than they are, and they want to take back that control, and they want to have better relationships, not just with other people, but within themselves. So think of it as emotional intelligence for yourself and for others. It's really important. It can help calm any situation because we look at things from a different perspective. So that is what I get to do and help my clients with. Today and Moment of Presence, what that's all about is giving you little tidbits and things that I've learned on my journey to help you. And so today, funny enough, we are talking about, do I delete my social media? This is for those people that, and I've been there. This is why I wrote this a couple months ago, and I'll tell you why this is so funny in just a second. But as I wrote this, it was because I had meditated, I was in a good mood. I jumped on social media, and everything in my feed was negative. It was just people complaining. It was negative posts, negative reels, just not very uplifting. And I could feel my mood go from, really good, where I had gotten it with my meditation, which was great, to subpar. Now, imagine if I hadn't meditated, I would have started here and I would have just dropped even lower. And that's why it's so important to premeditate for your day, but that's a different conversation. Maybe we'll talk about that a little at the end. But the important part to know is social media and your feed. And the reason why I said it's funny is because for some reason, yesterday, I was locked out of a certain account starting with an F and including a book in the middle of it, which is really funny because I bet if you go over, my MySpace is probably still active, but I won't go there. We're talking about the positive today. And so what I did when this happened a few months ago is I went through my my Facebook, I went through my Instagram, I went through all of my different accounts. And you know how they tell you to go through your closet and hold a shirt up, or it doesn't bring you. I did the same thing with my social media, and I just started looking at who was I following, what was I following, what was bringing me value, and what was bringing me down. And I just unfollowed. If it wasn't bringing me good information or information that was a benefit to me, I unfollowed it. I took control over my feed, and I just started cleaning the shit out, literally. And so when you refresh, what happens, and you'll notice the next day, if you go and you start following people that are positive, they have positive content, they're putting out things that are good in the world, quotes that are uplifting and motivating, reels that make you laugh, whether I don't care if it's silly cat videos and dog videos, because I love those too. You make sure that your feed is full of that. And so then you can go to your social media and you look at it and you get inspired and you smile or you laugh. There's things that you want to share with other people. And the other part of this is, when you look at what you put out, what you're posting, are you part of the solution or are you part of the problem? And I'm not saying that to insult anybody, but what I'm saying is that, are you airing your dirty laundry on social media? Are you putting out and adding to the pile of negative news, or even things that you're not even sure are true or not? What are you putting out? What value are you bringing to the people that you're friends with on your social media accounts? And so these are some things that you can look at and you can take responsibility for, take control over. And I'm telling you that when I did this for the rest of the month, and even now, once I get my account back, thankfully I have my others, but what you'll notice is that your feed feels different. There's a different energy about your accounts. There's a different energy about what's posted. You put out positive posts, and so you have different friends and followers, and then you start liking each other's, information and posts, then there's more that's going to come to you. And isn't it interesting that as we're talking about this, it kind of sounds like we're talking about manifesting and the law of attraction? What you put out is what you get back. What you bring in is what you put out. So when you think about your social media, when you think about your posts like that, what are you putting out to the universe? Whether you're speaking it, whether you're posting it, whether you're feeling it, what are you putting out to the world? And what are you taking in from the world? Think about that. It really does show us how the universe works. There's an algorithm there. Is it possible there's an algorithm with the universe we're not aware of? Or maybe we are aware of and we haven't learned to utilize it the right way? When you tap into the energy and you tap into what you're putting out and you are focusing on the good, you're going to see that you're getting good back. You're going to notice that everything around you is also good. It's being in that feeling of gratitude and positivity. So think of it as when you want to buy a car and you want your car to be red. All of a sudden you start seeing red cars everywhere. And if you even know the model and make of the car, you'll all of a sudden see those everywhere because it's what's on your mind. So it's so important for you to be very mindful of everything that you are putting out, especially right now in the energy that we're in. Today's the full moon. It's been the full moon for the couple days. This is the time for you to be very clear in what you want to attract. And then you have to put out the energy that's going to attract it and match that. So just like social media, just like the algorithms that they use, you can do the same thing with your life. And so when I was able to use this as an experiment and change my feed, then it changed me. It changed everything, because after meditation, I wasn't fearful of, I hope I don't get a bunch of negative stuff that I'm going to read after meditation. I trusted because I had already set myself up for receiving positive posts in my feed. So, anybody have any comments or questions? Anybody interested in trying this little experiment for themselves? Almost every platform now even has a hide feature. Yes, absolutely. And and that's the other thing. If you can either unfollow, you can take a break. You don't have to completely unfriend a person. If you know they're going through some stuff and you just love them and you're confident that they're going to come back around, take a break for 30 days. That's all. But there's also the hide, and you can hide them from your post. Those ads that come up as you're talking about something, and then all of a sudden, crazy, it's like the universe, the algorithm will then throw it into your feed. You don't have to just sit there and take it. You can X out of those ads and say, I don't want to see this anymore. But it takes you being responsible and taking that extra moment to X out of it and say, no, I don't want this content. I don't want this anymore. Yes. And you can support them from afar. You don't have to be in their feed. And you can also respond. Don't be that person that always, acts like they know more, but you can say something positive. You can give a positive perspective. Or you can say nothing at all and support them. Let them know that you're supporting them, sending you lots of love and support, or I see you getting through this, and coming on the other side and being well, whatever the situation is. There are ways for you to add in your positivity in a healthy way. And there's ways for you to support other people in a healthy way. I know a lot of people have heard, or I hope, and if you haven't, I'm going to say it. Get off the news. Get off mainstream, especially with everything like the election and all the stuff that's about to happen. Stop focusing on the things that you don't want to focus on, the negative, or the things that bring you down. And that's all about knowing how you're feeling and honoring yourself. So if you're noticing that a certain, we do it with music, and we talked about this on Shockingly Delightful yesterday. If there's a song on a radio and we don't like the song, we just change it, right? Well, why aren't you doing the same thing with, if you're feeling not good at something you're looking at, turn it off, change the channel, or do something different. Focus on something different. I was talking to a client yesterday, and we were kind of giggling because we realized that a year ago she stopped. Well, she's been throughout the year. She's been stopping the attitude or the emotions of focusing on the things that she doesn't want. Yeah, I don't like this over here. I'm unhappy. Okay, but over here you're unhappy. But what about everything else in your life that's going right? And we were giggling because as she moved over and said, whatever, kind of like, remember that we used to say, talk to the hand. She talked to the hand, and then she started focusing over here. And once she did that and she just started looking at the positives, it doesn't mean that she didn't have to keep going into work or whatever it was that was bringing her down. She still had to be there because she chose to do that. But she also could choose to really focus and highlight in her mind and her heart all of the positive things that were working, going the right way. And as that happened, all of a sudden it started a snowball effect. And then things started to get better in all of the other areas. And the other one, not because of the situation changed, but how she looked at it changed. She wasn't giving it all of her attention. She wasn't focusing on it. It became part of the back burner, so to speak. She was focusing on what was ahead of her and the good. And so the same thing goes for your social media. The same thing goes for how to attract and how to manifest what you want in your life. But here's the number one tip. Once you put it out there, whether you write it down, forget about it. Be in the joy of it, be in the happiness of it. It's coming. It's here. I can feel it. I'm happy. When you're in the energy of what you want and you're not focused on the not having, that's when it comes in. So just like getting all of the negativity out of the feed, and then all of a sudden, all of the things I wanted to see populated because there was space, there was room for it. I changed the algorithm. You can do the same thing in your life. So I said this a few different ways because it's going to resonate in different forms for different people. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But I really hope that that gave you an idea of how you can practice manifesting through your social media, but also set yourself up for positivity in your social media. You don't have to let it weigh you down. You do have more control than you think. So definitely want to hear if you're willing to experiment. I want to hear how your experiment went. Would love for you to share. Definitely sign up for my email. If you go over to mokshagrace.com, you can sign up for the email list. I do have something really cool going on right now. Every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, I am doing a taste of coaching. So think of it like a pop-up coaching session. And anybody that joins me at Taste of Coaching is going to get coached. You bring the topic and we will discuss it. It will be in a group environment. So there's going to be like-minded people. It's a community where we just share what's happening and I give you some guidance on it. I'm certainly not telling you what to do, but I am guiding you to the answers that you have within and that you may not be able to see right now. So I would love to see you over there. But for more information, like I said, just join the email list and you will get everything that you need. And I really, I'm happy that you guys were here. Thank you so much for those of you that are here live. Thank you for tuning in. If those that are watching on replay, thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Wednesday is Shockingly Delightful. And next Thursday is Moment of Presence. And I have a special guest joining me next week. So look out for those promos and all of that. Remember, every day you have a choice. It can be a good day or a bad day. It is up to you. Make that choice wisely. And I'll see you next week.